if you play any level in the Age of Victoria the Titans campaign, I've just played, for example, the level 10, and you go through File, you will be able to see the level in the editor, and if you click on it, you will be able to edit this level, so you can edit any feature of this level. By the way, this is not the objective of this video, but when you go to triggers and you play around with the triggers, you will notice that a very common effect is fire event. You will see it at the majority of triggers. So here there is a fire event, and it's a very, very popular effect. So it's very popular if you go through cinematics, for example. You can see that fire event is there, fire event is there, fire event is there. But for a trigger that has such a vague name, why is it very popular? What does it do? So I'm going to answer all of this in this video. So I've created a new blank scenario, and I will explain what fire event is. So fire event, what it does is it activates an inactive trigger. So that is simply what it does. But what is an inactive trigger? Well, if you go through trigger and insert a new trigger, you will see that active, this option is auto-selected. And if you're not a very advanced editor scenario maker, you will have most of your triggers active always. But this is not a bad thing, because you really want your triggers to be active when the condition is met. So here we have an always condition, and here we have a set text status effect. And what will happen is at around the 4 seconds mark, our effect will be triggered. 4 seconds because we haven't checked run immediately, and there is a delay if you didn't know that. But you could also have this trigger non-active, and if you have this trigger non-active, this effect won't be ever triggered. But why would you want that? If you wanted that, we could just not add the trigger. Well, you could do it for if you have a series of events. So if you have events that need to be triggered one after the other, then having non-active triggers and using the fire event condition may be a solution for you. So let's give you a small example. And this is what they do actually in the cinematic triggers. So fire event is used a lot with the timer condition. So for example, I want to, let's say for example, I have an nanobyte there. Let's give myself I am player 1. So I remove this 4 nanobytes, and I want to do something when this nanobyte is dead. So I'll do the is dead event, and let's just say send chat. It's a better condition, but you could do, let's do grant God power. So if the nanobyte is dead, will be granted the God power bronze. I don't know, anything. And we can add another unit for us to not win automatically when this nanobyte is dead. So what we are going to do is we want the God power to be granted to us after the nanobyte is dead, but not immediately. We want like that. We want like it to take like 7 seconds. So what we could do is add another trigger, and this one will have the condition grant God power bronze, but the old trigger will have an effect called fire event. No, the effect fire event there, and we'll fire the event the trigger 368. So this is the one which grants the God power, and you will notice when we fire the event trigger 368, if we go through the triggers bar, the inactive is automatically unchecked, and this will be always the case with the fire event. And let's give a condition timer. Let's give 7 seconds. Yeah, let's jump and test our scenario. So because player 1 is automatically Zeus, we could just bolt the nanobyte. And you will notice we are not granted the God power bronze except after 7 seconds. I didn't do the count, but yeah, this is one of the use of fire event. So if you have a sequence of conditions, you could use fire event. This wouldn't work otherwise. I don't think there is another way to do it. Like if you add here timer and you do 7 seconds, it wouldn't work like you would think it works. Because if you do both conditions, the just 7 seconds has to pass, but not after you kill it. So it's not like there is no sequence there. It's just both of these conditions need to be true. So after 7 seconds, if you kill Janubite, you will be granted bronze immediately. So this is not the same as doing is dead, then fire event, then timer. So there is a difference, and this is why this is very popular with cinematics. So if you don't want to calculate how much delays there is between the different lines of the character, you could just start a cinematic, and I did a video on this, but what you could do is you could do, for example, always, you start your cinematic, so sound file name, you write whatever you want, Arcantos, here, something, and you could just do a fire event, and if you think that the lines of Arcantos will take, for example, 7 seconds, you could just add a condition timer 7 seconds. You fire the event 370, and after the 7 seconds of this trigger has passed, you will fire the event trigger 370. And also you could do the same thing, so you could yet fire another event, and you could do another condition timer 10, and you don't have to calculate the accumulated time. So what I'm going to say, if you wanted to do it with the condition timer without fire event, you'll have to write here 17. But with the fire event, you don't even need to calculate it. You could just do it in a sequence. So if you have a different sequence of event, fire event is the trigger for you. Another use of fire event, and that is a more niche one, if you want to force the player to do quests in a certain order. So for example, if let's add another unit like something that my Anubite can beat, let's add this Arcus. So I want to win if I kill the Anubite and the Arcus. But my first objective will be to kill this Anubite. And I don't want you to skip my objective if you kill the Arcus and win. So I don't know if the campaigns actually do that. Sometimes you could just skip objectives altogether. But let's try to do it now. So what we would do is, for example, we'll do a condition is dead on the Anubite. We select it. And what we want to do is to have a fire event. And let's add another condition is dead to this Arcus. And if this Arcus is dead, we win. And the fire event is going to call the trigger 373. So because we did the fire event, you can see that this trigger is inactive. So if you kill the Arcus before you kill the Anubite, you won't win because this trigger is not active. You have actually to kill the Anubite to unlock this quest. So let's try it. If I did everything right, it should work. So let's first kill the Arcus first. We can see that we don't win. Now, I don't know if I win this fight. But right now, if you kill the Anubite, I think you win. So, I don't know if I have the... Oh, we win. So, I think we should win now. But we didn't win because we didn't do it in order. We won because when this Anubite died, now this trigger was active, and the Arcus was already dead. So, this is why it works. But as you can see, we can't kill the Arcus first. So this is a way to do it. Now, if you want to force the player to kill the Anubite before the Arcus, and you have to do it in this order. You have to force it. Then you could do, for example, if Zanubite is dead, the condition is lose. If the Arcus is not dead, you could do something like this. But the way I did it is that you have to complete this quest before you want to complete this quest. So, but it isn't like you don't have to do it in order, but you have to do it. So I don't know if I'm explaining things right, but if you kill this Anubite, then kill this Arcus, you will win. But if you kill the Arcus before the Anubite, you still win. But you have to kill this Anubite. So this is how it happens. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if it was helpful, be sure to leave a like. And if you have any question, you can leave it down in the comments below, and any other video suggestion. And I will see you next time for another video. Goodbye and take care.